welcome to Internet Anomalies. I'm your host Bathdoge, and for this video we'll be doing an overview of a strange individual on the internet. But before we begin, I would like to credit Turkey Tom for pointing out this individual. After watching one of his VODs on his second channel, it gave me the inspiration to look a bit deeper into this rabbit hole. And yeah, so shout out to the Turkey Tom army. The Scented Candle Man, referred to as LPC or LPC9929, is a channel that is very ominous and unique in the YouTube ecosphere, where it has recently surfaced by gaining attention from Twitter users that decided to shine some light on his popular posts, and as well the comments being covered by popular YouTubers such as Turkey Tom.
And this is like, how many YouTube comments are like this? We've never really come across these freaks.
LCP is exceedingly unique and viewed in a very comedic way on the way he expresses his passion towards scented candles. People may shrug LPC as a troll channel or possibly some type of ARG creation. However, on closer examination on his channel, we can see that he originally had 1,000 subscribers before the Turkey Tom exposure, with a pretty active community tab that had a good number of commenters for a channel of his size. And with his recent exposure, it seems that his channel has tripled, and now he has around 3,000 subscribers as of recording this. If we were to put LPC's URL in the Wayback Machine, we end up with 6 archive results and only one of them as of recording is functioning. This shows that his channel started with some type of minuscule activity on the 30th of January 2023, and possibly, judging by his first community post around July, is when he started the community tabs. Now, speaking about his lore, if we were to look at his first post, it seems like a caustic post where LPC simply misspells vanilla with a B and has the attached photo of presumably a vanilla scented candle that he plucked with his plastic spoon. But as we go down the comments,
I am infertile from eating scented candles, yes, and the doctor tried the 72-hour hold and stomach pump and said stop eating scented candles. Brainwashed doctors. They don't know the truth universe. I will eat another and more after that.
So right off the bat, we can pick up that something isn't right. The interesting thing that he mentions in his comment is the 72-hour hold, which is very interesting due to the fact that a 72-hour hold is where clinical staff take responsibility and evaluation of mentally ill individuals, which just leads me to believe that he ate so many candles that he had to be sent to the ER. And that's why they had to pump his stomach and basically have him under lockdown. As well as a follow-up on this,
the doctor said, I have eaten at least 100 because of benzene chemical levels in the urine sample, but he doesn't know I ate much more.
Excessive amounts of benzene in his body, which, from what I've read, benzene is a highly toxic petroleum-based chemical that causes blood coagulation, that has the likelihood of causing leukemia, or in LPC's case, damage to the reproductive organs. It seems that LPC is a very clandestine individual from the looks of it. As we go down the lore of this whole ordeal, we get to notice that he's more into conspiracy theories and open-minded ways of thinking. Alright guys, we'll be looking into the images that LPC posts, and to say it lightly, they are very, very cryptid. If we were to look at this image, it seems like your normal type of activity in the LPC universe where there's a candle that has a bite mark on it, or is bitten off to say. But then as we go to the follow-up image, what's the deal with all these remotes? A couple of commenters tried to investigate into this, and the following is...
Delectable. Also, that's very smart. You'll never lose enough remotes to not be able to use the TV.
I don't have TV. I have much more.
Alright guys, that was definitely something. How does one person own 15 remotes but does not own a TV? For what purpose? Another image I can show is this one where there's 5 crock pots just scattered around the image. It's very ominous, and before we go to the next part of this, I would like to create a short collage of some really, really weird images to say, with no explanation. Alright guys, so a quick disclaimer, this final part will be a bit messy, since I'll mostly be going off script and basically doing theory ramblings and trying to make sense of this whole ordeal bit by bit. Yes, I did go one by one on the community posts, and I tried my best at hunting down all the comments and bits of lore that LPC has left behind. By the way, as a quick editor thing, while I was doing this, Pyrocynical decided to do a live stream, and on that live stream he was covering LPC, and to my luck, all the Pyrocynical fans decided to flood in the comment sections of. So thanks Pyro, you really helped out. Okay, so luckily, I managed to find what nation LPC is from, and from it looks like he is from Saudi Arabia. So we can rest easy knowing that his playlist being full of Arabic letters led us to the right answer. But as far as his nation of origin, in one of his comments he states that he speaks Urdu. And from researching, Urdu is a language between India and Pakistan. And I'll assume India due to the fact that Google tells me that Urdu is predominantly spoken in India. So far we can put the pieces that he may have lived in India but had to immigrate to Saudi Arabia. One reason for him running away to Saudi Arabia is the conspiracies that he believes in, due to the fact that he's very mistrustful of his own government, that maybe he fled to a new one. And in that new one, he is currently living in a desolated apartment, which kind of explains where he got all these absurd amount of TV remotes or these computer screens, just all these like antique stuff, because he probably got it from those destroyed apartments that he lives in. He refers to this building as the bunker and his safe haven where he can hide against the government. From what it looks like, LPC used to have a community on Facebook that were his friends, but he had to abandon that community for unknown reasons, and probably to avoid the government. For his odd way of typing, he may only have a phone at his disposal, because we see many comments of him mentioning his phone, and as well it's pretty obvious when he says "Hey Google" or "Hey Alexa." And it's probably why every time, or most of the times, he has a problem with deleting some posts or even accidentally deleting some posts. And regarding on him not being able to post any videos on his channel, probably synced in with the phone theory, since probably a bit harder for him to figure out how to record a video on his phone than to simply put a photo on YouTube. Oh yeah, and from this comment we can also see that a family member of his taught him how to use his phone. So we can conclude that he only has a phone and he's very, very new to technology. It appears in a lot of comments he mentions Amazon, and that may be his source of all these scented candles. He probably buys them in bulk, and in one of the comments he mentions that sometimes the government may intercept his shipping. But on him eating candles, simply from what I can gather, is that it's in his principle from what he says. And that he mentions it smells good, it tastes good, and that he's just a simple man who simply likes to eat candles. But on the contrary, while somebody asks him if he eats silica gel, he says that he doesn't because it's labeled with "do not eat." As well as in one of the comments, he mentions that he started eating candles at the dawn of creation, which could mean that he ate candles when he was at a younger age. As for real food, we can see that he mentions having a perfect diet and having the truth of the universe while it nourishes him with bugs. So we can assume that he eats bugs and cottage cheese. That's a pretty healthy diet, if you ask me. Another interesting thing is when a commenter mentions that the candles are nutritious, LPC states that it doesn't. So does he know that they aren't nutritious, but he still continues to eat them? After investigating deeper on his comments, we can very concretely say that he's just very, very paranoid at the government, to the point where he just formulates his own contraptions and his own plans on how to avoid the government, or like avoid the manipulation techniques that the government is giving him. It's really weird, but now we have a bit more of a bigger picture idea as to why the images are like that. Okay guys, I left the hardest part to explain for last, so this will be very convoluted, so bear with me. I did my best to giving the most shortest and clearest explanation on what this whole conspiracy with LPC is. So basically, he believes in the truth of the universe, and that truth is that there are a lot of microorganisms all around us, to where he ferments the cottage cheese to the point where it becomes biomatter, and that biomatter is used to create superconductors, and with those superconductors he avoids the government and unveils the truth of the universe. Well, if that isn't a mouthful. Okay, guys, that was a doozy. But honestly, guys, this was just a very unique experience. I've never seen an internet mystery where you go to a channel, you don't look at the videos, you look at the community tab, and you try to piece the story together, basically. That is very unique. The only issue is the more commenters arrive on this channel, the more, I guess, hidden the story becomes, since I was able to gather up all these tidbits of lore and whatnot before the mass surge on this channel. But unluckily, while I was making this video, Pyrocynical decided to do his stream and all his fans started flooding the channel. There may be some parts that I've missed out, some parts that I haven't covered, but that's okay, since if you guys manage to point it out, be sure to join my Discord, and I'll probably make a part 2 if there's enough content to go back at this internet mystery. But yeah, generally I enjoyed how the images were. This individual knows how to craft those artistic looking images, and at the end of the day, you don't know, maybe it's actually some crazy guy. He thinks that eating candles is a normal thing. Who knows? But other than that, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon. That really helps a lot. And yeah, be sure to give a subscribe. See you around, guys.